All right, Scott, I want to get you your first update video on Tavi. I assume it's Tavi. I'm saying A is a short name, not Tavi. I assume it's Tavi. Um, but I'll show you what we got going on with the girl. We've had a little bit of time to get to know each other. What I see here is a dog that reminds me a lot of the very lovey, outgoing personality of Tycho. She's got a lot of Tycho's, happy-go-lucky, um, but lovey type of temperament. And so just want to talk about how we're getting started with her training. First off, like I said, we have to have a relationship. Her and I have to be buddies. We have to be on the same page, and we have to have a relationship together. And the start of that relationship is trust. We gotta spend time together. And one of the things that are important in that relationship is something she's fighting me on right here. And it's very subtle, and that is her leg. She wants to put her foot up on me, and I will not tolerate that. I cannot allow her to put her feet up on me. That is a sign of her trying to establish dominance over me. And I absolutely will not tolerate that. Because the dog has to understand that, yes, we're buddies. However, I'm going to be the one in charge. And so we will not tolerate that putting feet on people. We definitely don't want to let that go for me, and we definitely don't want to let that go when she meets anyone. We don't want her to put her feet on anyone. I think she's going to be a pretty big dog. I think she's going to be a pretty good size. I imagine she'll be, upper 60s, maybe 70 pounds. And so obviously putting our feet on people is not acceptable. So we will be working on squashing that behavior. No feet. Good girl. So all I'm doing there is when she puts her feet on me, I'm squeezing her foot and not allowing her to put her foot on me. Still continuing to give love, give her affection, but she puts her foot up here, I'm going to squeeze her foot and take her, so she cannot do that. That's a no-no. So we're trying to establish this relationship and the ground rules. That's what we're just trying to do. How does this work? All right. So we do a little bit of ear rubbing, give her some love, and she's doing a much better job keeping her feet on the ground. So I'm happy with that. So that's one little session we're working on with Tabby is keep your feet on the ground, please. All right. The next thing we're addressing is going to work on some on-leash obedience, starting with walking on a leash. Now, I am not going to say to her the words as a command yet, but what we're trying to do is we're beginning to form the beginning of formal obedience. And formal obedience is 3 commands: hear, heel, and sit. Now, I'm actually not going to say any of those words other than sit today, but I am going to make her do the things, even though I may not be saying the command. We're just trying to create some good habits. And one of the good habits is to work inside this room. So we're here inside my shop room where the dogs sleep at night. Obviously, we have the crates in here. And so the dogs are comfortable in here. They know all the smells in here. So they know this is a safe place. Also, there's not a lot going on. This is a 25 by 25 room or something like that. And so we've kind of are doing this indoors to begin with, so that way there's not so much going on as if we were outside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my leash. I'm going to show you the leash real quick. The leash that I'm using is it's a vinyl material, vinyl material that's painted over canvas, and it has a regular clasp on the end, and then it has a ring that slides across the material. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be clipping that clasp onto the ring. And the idea is that when we pull on the leash, it will get tight and create pressure on her neck. And then as soon as we're not pulling, the leash becomes loose and that pressure comes off. It's critical that we help her understand the basic rules, which is about pressure, which I'm doing even just with her foot, that when she puts her foot in a place that I don't want, she is going to experience pressure. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to teach her that we use pressure to communicate with the dog. So when she is moving around, we're going to feel a little pressure. And again, it's small amounts. We should not be causing pain. We certainly don't want to hurt the dog. We don't want to diminish that relationship that we're trying to create here. All we're trying to do is to establish the ground rules. The ground rules are we're buddies, but I'm in charge, and we're going to be using pressure to communicate. So that's kind of where it starts. This is almost like pre-obedience work here. So we're just going to walk around my office or my shop here a little bit, walking on a leash. Every time she is where I want her to be, the leash will be loose. Every time I need her to change, she's going to feel a quick tug on the leash. Now, it's critical that when we do this, that the leash is loose 99% of the time. The only time that she feels it get tight is when I need her to change. So, for example, if I want her to stop and I want her to sit, I'm going to pull on the leash until she sits. Good girl. So again, we're using that pressure to communicate with her. Now, we got a lot of fine tuning to go here. I mean, we got a lot of work to do. But she understands this, and what's important to me is that she wants to work with me. You obviously did a great job of socializing her, getting her some of these basics already started. I'm pretty confident you've walked with her on a leash, and she understands this. We're just going to work on fine-tuning it using pressure on and off. And then what we're going to start working on even more is over here at the placemat. So we have a big rubber mat here in the room, and we're going to be working everything off of this mat. So this is going to be our home position. So we're going to teach her that everything starts and finishes at the home position. So this is how we're going to be making our formal obedience really help her understand more and more of the obedience commands that we need her to do. But what I see out of her is I see a lot of great traits. I see a dog who is wanting to work with me. I see a dog who has a great temperament. I see a dog who appears to learn very quickly. Like right there, when I apply pressure, she sits down nicely. Again, I assume you taught her to sit, but she is responding to it. And what I see right there is the tail. I don't know if you saw the tail, but the tail is wagging. And that's what I want to see. I want to see her in a position where she is comfortable and we are getting her to do these tasks, but I don't want her to have her spirit be squelched. We don't want to crush the dog. That's not what this is about. This is simply about teaching her the rules that she understands what it is that I'm asking of her. And then, of course, continuing with her crate training, her crate is right here off camera. You can't see it. But here, I'll scoot it over so you can see her go in her crate. But we are continuing to use the crate. That is definitely a big part of our training. We continue potty training here 100%. We want the dogs to continue to keep their area clean. Everybody sleeps indoors at night inside their crate, and then everybody goes outside to do their business. So we are continuing all of those things that you definitely got her a good start on, and we're going to build on that and make you a really nice dog when this process is done. But I see a lot of potential here. I think she's going to be great. I think we're off to a good start. We're going to make you a nice dog.